Sure, here's the complete version from 1 to 12 in English, capturing the essence of why humans generally avoid raw meat, along with a lively and humorous tone. 1. The historical background. Let's start with a bit of history. Imagine our ancestors thousands of years ago, hunting in the wild, armed with nothing but stone tools. They probably didn't have the luxury of a grill or an oven, so they might have had to eat raw meat out of necessity. But then came fire. The discovery of cooking was a game changer. Cooking not only made food tastier but also safer by killing harmful bacteria and parasites. If someone suggested eating raw meat back then, they'd likely be met with a collective eye roll, or worse, booted out of the tribe too. Food safety concerns. Now let's talk about food safety. Raw meat can harbor a host of nasty bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. Definitely not your dinner guests of choice. Imagine biting into a piece of raw chicken and then spending the next few days in the bathroom. No thank you. Additionally, raw meat can contain parasites like Trichinella in pork or tapeworms in beef. These little guys are not the kind of extra protein you want to invite into your body. 3. Digestive differences. Let's not forget about our digestive systems. Humans have a different digestive setup compared to carnivorous animals like lions or tigers, whose stomach acid is far stronger and can handle the bacteria in raw meat much better. Our stomachs are not as acidic, making us more vulnerable to foodborne illnesses. So, while a lion can chow down on a raw zebra without a care in the world, we'd be better off sticking to cooked meat. 4. Cultural influences. Cultural norms play a massive role in our eating habits. In many cultures, eating raw meat is a big no-no. For instance, in certain religious practices, raw meat is considered unclean. Even in cultures where raw meat is accepted, it's usually prepared with great care. Think of sushi. It's not just any fish. It has to be fresh and handled by trained professionals. So, when it comes to raw meat, cultural beliefs can greatly influence our choices. 5. The art of cooking. Cooking is also an art form. Many people enjoy the process of preparing food, watching it transform from raw to delicious. Picture a juicy steak sizzling on the grill, the aroma wafting through the air, mouth-watering, right? Raw meat simply doesn't have the same appeal. It doesn't have that enticing smell or the beautiful caramelization that comes with cooking. Plus, let's be honest, who doesn't love a good barbecue? 6. Modern dietary trends. Sure, in recent years, there's been a surge in raw food diets and trends like paleo or keto. Some folks are boldly experimenting with raw meat, thinking it's the key to better health. However, this approach requires a solid understanding of food safety, and for many, it's just not worth the risk. After all, who wants to spend their evening hugging the toilet because of a bad decision? 7. Health considerations. Health is another key factor in our aversion to raw meat. With so much information out there about food safety and nutrition, many people are cautious. You might have heard horror stories about someone getting sick from undercooked meat, and those tales stick, especially for pregnant women, the elderly, or anyone with a weakened immune system. The risks associated with raw meat are even higher. 8. A humorous anecdote. Let me share a funny story. A friend of mine was really into the idea of eating raw meat. He bought a fresh steak, excited to make his own beef tartare. But when his cat saw the raw meat, its eyes lit up like it was Christmas. In the end, he ended up giving half the steak to the cat because he was too nervous to eat it himself. Even the cat knew raw meat was a risky choice. 9. Social aspects of eating food is not just about sustenance. It's also about culture, tradition, and social interaction. Think about family gatherings where everyone sits around a table enjoying warm, cooked meals. If someone brought out a plate of raw meat, the reaction would likely be a mix of confusion and horror. Suddenly, the dinner table becomes a debate stage rather than a place of comfort and joy. In many cultures, raw food is seen as a delicacy, like sushi or steak tartare, but these dishes are prepared with extreme care and expertise. The emphasis on freshness and hygiene elevates them above the average raw meat experience. So, cultural perspectives heavily influence how we view and consume raw meat. 10. The influence of pop culture. Pop culture also shapes our views on raw meat. Turn on any cooking show, and you'll see chefs expertly preparing raw dishes, making it look glamorous and sophisticated. But let's be real, if you see a character in a horror movie chomping down on raw meat, you're not thinking, wow, that looks delicious. You're probably thinking, yikes, that's a bad idea. This portrayal adds to the perception that raw meat is risky and unappetizing. 11. Nutritional considerations. Let's talk about nutrition. Some people believe that raw meat retains more nutrients, but that's not always true. While certain vitamins might be preserved, Cooking often increases the bioavailability of many nutrients, making them easier for our bodies to absorb. For example, cooking can enhance the absorption of iron from meat, making it a more beneficial choice overall. Furthermore, digesting raw meat can be more challenging for our bodies. It takes longer to break down, which can lead to discomfort for some individuals. Cooked meat, on the other hand, is generally easier to digest and less likely to cause gastrointestinal distress. 12. Final thoughts in conclusion. The reasons behind humans avoiding raw meat are multifaceted, from historical evolution and digestive differences to cultural norms and health concerns. Many factors contribute to our choices. While some may enjoy raw dishes, for most of us, cooked food is the safer, tastier option. Ultimately, food should be an enjoyable experience. Whether you prefer a steaming bowl of stew or a delicate slice of sushi, the key is to savor what you eat while staying safe. So next time you see raw meat on the table, remember the stories, the risks, and the laughter. Happy eating!